All right, so when we're talking to the hamstring, either a flexibility issue, it's hard to not have some sort of effect on that sciatic nerve or that nerve bundle that goes down the back of the leg. Remember, sciatica is a symptom, it's not necessarily a diagnosis, but we want to mitigate that as best we can. So what you're used to is this nice little like kind of straightforward, leg straight, pull it up, and we say, "Oh wow, your hamstrings are really tight." Blah blah blah. That's fine. Most people hamstrings are tight or weak or probably both. But what I like to do is I like to take them just slightly past midline and maybe even just a little bit into what we call internal rotation. I'll kind of mess around with this and flirt with that. Keeping an eye on his face just to make sure I don't cause too much pain. And from here, I can add a little bit of this. Watch me here. Watch what happens to my right hand. Just a little bit of that dorsiflexion. That sensitizes it a little bit. He's going to feel a lot more of this. So I'll do this for maybe about 20, 30 seconds. It might be a little bit irritating, in which case I'll bring him into abduction, let off of it just a little bit, shake it, and then right back onto it. When I do this prior to doing anything like a hip hinge, an RDL, anything that's like forward flexion of the hip of any kind, that tends to give them a little bit more range of motion, a little bit less pain, less apprehension. It kind of lowers that barrier to entry to get into that hip hinge thing. So we can do more explosive hip extension, and we can just simply pick stuff up from the ground. So in addition to that typical hamstring stuff that we all know, like, and trust, let's add a little bit of that crossing that midline or just kind of venturing into that midline, a little bit of that rotation, and then mess around with that ankle joint to see what kind of sensitivity they have. Yes, the tighter the individuals, the more impact, but you'll be surprised that even the super flexible people, this is going to be golden for them.